Ah, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Is it night time? It's night time there, I presume.
Yeah, it's 7:30, like roughly around 7:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's nine.
in the
It's
morning.
9:30 here. We're slightly ahead. New Zealand's slightly ahead of Australia. It's not a big thing, but we don't have to bring it up. It's fine. It's fine. We all know it.
It's
We all
fine.
know it.
It's fine. It's all good.
We're 2 hours ahead. That's fine. That's fine.
Guys, congratulations on the show.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you.
Uh, it, it it seems to have done pretty well so far across the globe. Have you guys got used to the fact that it is a global thing, given that it's Netflix and all these other things, that it is a big deal globally? There's lots of people all over the world. Chai, have you got used to the fact that it's being seen by so many people in so many different countries?
You never really get used to it. One of the things I find just kind of it blows me away is when people can recite the things that um, the characters do in the show, like the sutra that Tripitaka does. I had a kid come up to me and was like completely word for word perfect doing the sutra, and I'm like, I can't even do that. How the hell? What? Like, it's honestly, you just kind of have to adapt, and it's really heartwarming, you know, getting a lot of the positive feedback from it. It really does help you kind of motivate you, in this industry that is constantly cutting you back. It's such a cutthroat industry, and when you actually get something good and people are like, that's amazing. It's like, yes, this is why I'm in this industry. So yeah, you never get used to it, but it's fun. It's very heartwarming.
I've had nothing, but that's fine. But I don't think it was. I don't know. I don't think it was that big in New Zealand. And
I have
also,
to
there's a
say,
weird thing.
it was because most of the fans that I experienced were from Europe and in America. It
Yeah.
wasn't quite big in Australia and in New Zealand. I kind of found.
Well, weirdly, New Zealand Netflix got it like 6 months
Late.
after the rest of the world got it
Yeah,
around the
right.
thing, and I,
Okay.
and I still don't even know if New Zealand's going to get it at the same time. But so I've had nothing. But apparently it's quite big in Brazil. So I've had a lot of Brazilian people talking to me online in Portuguese, which I think is the language of Brazil, and I think it's positive. So I don't, I don't know.
We should go for a trip to Brazil to find out.
We
Yeah.
should definitely go on a trip to Brazil. Okay.
Or they could be just
I'd love
spitting
to.
vitriol at you, and you don't know.
Well, I mean,
Very good.
because they've got the question, the exclamation marks at the front and the back, and the question. So like, there's a lot of punctuation. There's a lot going on. There is Google Translate, but I got a lot of stuff on. So get around
I
the
mean,
translator.
okay, I've seen a lot of cartoons pop up recently of you, Josh. So
Yeah. Oh.
can't say nothing. I've seen a lot.
No, there's some amazing. Isn't that amazing? It's the artwork. Like I've had a lot of friends who are parents, like their kids will get into it, and then they get into it, which is like really cool. Like I've made a lot of weird stuff in my time, but like there's nothing that's been as you never feel as it feels so good to like be part of something positive, and
Mm.
all the messages in it. There's strong female characters, like everyone's. The thing's really about friendship and love and vulnerability and blah blah. Especially the second series, we're getting like it's incredibly diverse cast, and it's all like good buzz stuff, and it just feels it's so cool to be part of something like that.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I guess you guys don't really. It's like with most shows, isn't it? You go into a second season. There's a lot of there's more expectations on it. But you guys are so in kind of a bubble making it that you don't. I guess you don't feel that in the same way. But you must be aware that people are expecting a little bit more from you in season two.
I think we've
Well,
we've
like,
we've kicked it up a notch in the second season.
yeah,
So it's people are gonna love this even more than the first season. And
yeah,
I mean, during the filming process, we we were laughing even more watching it back. That I started getting there was like a moment where it just clicked, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so good. I'm so excited for people to see this season. Um, and usually I'm kind of like I'm proud of my work, but I've never been this proud of my work before. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more. There's a lot more feedback this season, I think, than the previous.
We certainly deliver. There's like Chai's does breakdancing and he's a martial artist, right? And so like if you thought the action was good in the first, it is outrageous. He's amazing. He does this whole, I don't want to reveal too much, but basically Chai may or may not take on himself. It's out of control. There's wire work, there's explosions, there's where I'm doing a lot of fight. The other Lily and Luciane, Tripitaka and Sandy are going back. Well, the action is being stepped up 100%. It's so full of gags now. I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night laughing from stuff that we shot last year, and it was so much fun to be part of. And I think that comes across when you watch it. Like you'll feel that fun. Yeah.
And that was the thing I was going to say about the show, is that it is this kind of big mythic kind of quest story about friendship, as you say, and about vulnerability and family and stuff. But the core of it is this great humor that comes from it. But it feels very, very organic. It's not like a comedy show. It comes from the characters and comes from the relationships. I mean, how excited were you when you first read the scripts for the first time that the balance was just right?
For the second season, I was actually laughing while I was reading it, and I think the new writers that we had this season they did a lot of comedy, like YouTube comedy. What was it, the Bondi Hipsters?
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
I've heard the name. Yeah.
They're geniuses. They're comedic geniuses. They're so funny. So having them on board was such a pleasure. That I would be reading it going, this is the kind of comedy that I've wanted all along. And yeah, I think I was just super happy with it from the first moment reading it. And then doing it is just a whole nother thing. It was even harder because we're just trying not to corpse the whole time filming it.
It was fun and also we became more confident in ourselves and our own things. And because, I mean, the people that made this, Seesaw and the production company and the producers and the directors, all the money that's into it is on the screen. Like they're really punching above their weight to make it look the way it is, and it is the way it is. And that kind of also meant that like we didn't have a lot of takes to do stuff, and because of the nature of the filming and the weather in New Zealand and stuff, we'd have like not many takes for our own things. So we developed a thing for Peter, the director, said, "Oh, okay, I kind of did a few ad libs, improvs every now and then, but what I'll do 3 in a row. So like Josh do 3 in a row.
Just do runs, hey, just do runs in that one take.
Runs. So instead of like doing 3 takes, they'd just do that one long take, and then it would come to me, and I'd just have like 3 attempts at making the line funnier. And sometimes it was an absolute disaster. Many times it was an absolute disaster. But every now and then I got a few fun things. So it was really fun. I'd have no idea which ones I picked. Probably nothing that I came up with, and I just wasted everybody's time. But we'll just see. Jai, are you okay? Have you lifted?
Oh, sorry, I just had to open the door. Oh, my mum.
Is there a snake in your house?
There is, yes.
Australia.
There's a snake, and there's a koala, there's a couple of dogs.
Madness. Just as a final question then, guys, I mean, hopefully you'll get to do this for a little bit longer, but I mean, if say you do 2 seasons or 3 seasons, what's the thing you'll miss most about your characters should you have to say goodbye, whether it's in a year, whether it's in 5 years, whatever?
I don't even want to think about it, because I just love this character so much. It's honestly a dream. It's a dream role. It's kind of like why I got into the industry in the first place, is because one, I was a massive fan of Jackie Chan, and he's the master at action comedy, like absolute perfection at it. So watching him as a kid, I was kind of like frothing at the fact that I was going to be doing something similar, so I think just everything, including working with Josh and Lily and Luciane, it's such a pleasure. Just the whole process. And then the costumes. Like, yeah, how good are the costumes?
So
You know,
good.
it's such an all-rounded, awesome show. I don't know. I can't pick one thing to say that I'd miss the most.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think I'd miss my friends, because at least,
Nice.
like, weirdly, because we all live in different countries, I've got to like sever. You have to sever it. You'd say goodbye, but part of you is always like, oh, we'll have another series. But like, if there wasn't really another series, I think I'd get very sad. I'd miss my friends.
I hope we go for at least like 5, 6 seasons, like
Yeah,
minimum.
that's a good number. That's a good number.
Yeah. Also, I will say,
guys, absolutely.
Each season I've had a child, so I'm happy with 3. But any more than that,
any more?
let's slow it down. I need a bit of warning. We need a bit of
guys, my time is up. But thank you so much for your time. Good luck with the show, and stay safe.
Thank you so much.
No,
Yeah,
all right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!